Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. In this video we will see case escalation rule in Salesforce. So we know how the case is created. Case can be created by manually and there is another option to creating a case web to case. I have created video on web to case. The video link I have given in description box, you can go through it. Then what is case escalation rule in Salesforce? So basically when the case is created and it not resolved within the particular time frame or duration, in the case escalation rule, the case escalate from assigned user to appropriate supervisor or the team. So here is a flow chart. When the case is created, it will assign to the user. Then if the case is resolved, then it will be closed. And if the case is unresolved within the particular time frame, then it will be escalate. So the help of case escalation rule, the case get automatically escalated and it will assign to appropriate supervisor or team within the time frame. So I will demonstrate you how to create case escalation rule so that the unresolved case get to escalate to the appropriate user or supervisor. So let's jump to the org. Now to create the escalation rule, in the quick find box search for the escalation rule. Then under the service option you will get escalation rule, click on it. Now here if you created any escalation rule before, then here you will see the list of that. I didn't create any escalation rule, for that I am creating new rule. Click on new button. Now here I want to escalate those cases which origin is phone, and after the case is created and not resolved within the time frame, it will get escalated. For that here I am entering phone escalation rule. Then here you need to click active button so that this rule get activated, and then click on save button. Now here you can see in the case escalation rule we have one rule. Now the rule is created. Now we need to set up. To set up that rule, click on that particular rule. And here you can see rule entries. We need to set rule entries. In that we will define condition so that when the record meet that condition, it will get escalated. To set up the rule entries, click on new button. Then here you need to set order. Here I am entering 1. That means this is the first rule entry. Then in the second step, we need to select criteria for this rule entry. Here I am entering case origin. Then in the operator equals. And to select the value, here you can see lookup icon, click on it and then phone and then click on insert selected. You can select different criteria or add more conditions according to your requirement. Here I have entered case origin equals to phone. Now in the third step, we need to specify the business hour criteria for this escalation rule. So here we have three options: ignore business hours, then use business hours specified on this case, and then set business hours. So first I will explain what is business hours. The business hours nothing but the working hours of that particular company. For example, when you order any product from Amazon, there will be the note, this product will deliver within 2 to 3 working days. Now here you can see the period during which your company is open for businesses. That means your login time to logout time. Then you can define business hour for each day of the week. Then we can specify holidays and then apply different business hour to various process. Now first I will show you how to set up business hour in Salesforce. For that again jump to the org. Click on setup and search for the business hours. Under the company setting you will get business hours, click on it. And then here you will see by default there is one business hours. Now we want to create different business hour to our cases. For that click on new business hour button. Then enter the business hour name. Case business hours. Then click on active button. If you select use business hours as the default, then it will apply to whole Salesforce org. Here I am not selecting that. Then select the time zone and then here you need to select login time and logout time. First we need to uncheck this. The 24 hour means our company is working 24 hours. Here we are selecting specific business hours. Here I am entering login time 9 AM. And logout time 6 PM. And Saturday Sunday off, that means 12 AM to 12 AM. That means there is no time between login and logout, so it will be the off. Then click on save button. Now here you can see we have two activated business hours and one is default. So while calculating the escalation time, let's see one example. So first we will see with created business hours. For example, case created time is 12 p.m. and after the creating case, if it get not resolved after the 10 hours, then it should get escalated. Now we have set our business hours 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now the case is created 12 p.m. What will be the time after 10 hours? So the case will get escalated on that particular time. The case is created 12 p.m. Then after 10 hours, that means we are working till 6 p.m. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. it get 6 hours. Then the 4 hour will left. Then this 4 hour will add to next day after the login time. That means our login time is 9 a.m. and after the login time, when we add 4 hour to that 9 a.m., it will get 1 p.m. That means the case will get escalated at 1 p.m. Then ignore business hours. So the same example, case is created 12 p.m. and we want to ignore the business hours. That means after the 12 p.m. when we add 10 hours, the case will get escalated at night 10 p.m. And now we have third option, use business hours specified on the case. So it will depends upon which time zone the case gets created. For example, if the case is created from France office, then the escalated time will be calculated according to the time zone which in France. Now let's set up the rule. To set the business hours, click on it and then click on lookup icon. And here you can see case business hours that we created now. And in the fourth step, we need to specify how escalation time are set. Here also we have three options: when case is created, another is when the case is created and disable after case is first modified, and then based on last modification time. The first one and second one is clear. That means when the case is created, after that, from that time the escalation time will calculated. Then based on last modification, that means when the case is created and user do any modification in that case, after that modification time the escalation time will calculated. And the second option, when the case is created and disable after case is first modified. In this option, when the case is created and any assigned user is modified that case, and after the modification it doesn't matter how many time it will take. Now here I am selecting when the case is created and then click on save button. Now you might be thinking we didn't apply any time, so that after particular that time the case will get escalated. For that, here we have escalation actions. To add the escalation actions, click on new button. And now here you can see age over. Here I am entering 10 hours. Then if you click on minutes, here we have two options, 0 minute and then 30 minutes. Now we need to add to reassign cases. Here we have two options, user or queue. If we created any queue, then we can assign this particular escalated case to the queue. The video link of how to create queue in Salesforce I have given in description box. You can go through it. Here I am selecting user, so that after the 10 hours when the case get created, it will reassign to particular user. To select the user, click on lookup icon. And here I am selecting manager role level user. And if you want to send any notification to that particular user, you can click on it. Here we have standard template, escalated case notification. And notify this user means when the case was created, that time which user was assigned to that case, this notification will be sent to that particular user. Here you can select that user and then send the template. Then here you can also mention the additional emails and then click on save button. Now we have one escalation actions. After the 10 hours, it will reassign to Abhijit Roy. And even this user will not able to calculate the case. Then we can also reassign to another user. For that, click on new button, then 20 hours. Now we will assign this case to the queue. Select the queue, select in template, then save. That means after the 10 hours case is created, it will assign to the Abhijit Roy, and even he will not able to solve that case, it will get re-escalated to this defined queue. So this is how we can set up the case escalation rule. We can add another entry also. So here I am entering the second entry. Case priority equals to high. Insert selected. Then this time we will select ignore business hours. Then click on save button. Then add escalation rule action. Age or 10 hours. User. And then click on save button. That means now we have two rule entries. Now the case will get escalated depends upon this rule order. Now we will create a case. For that, go to the setup, click on app launcher and search for case object. Now I am going to create new case. Subject Wi-Fi not working. Then enter the necessary information. Case origin is phone, because in the condition we have selected, when the case origin is phone, that time case will get escalated. And then click on save button. Now here you can see the case is created at this time. After the 10 hours, that means if the case will not get resolved, after the 10 hours, it will get escalated. So here I cannot show the escalated case because of we have set the escalated time after the 10 hours, but we have option to see that. In the quick find box, search for escalation rule, and then under the monitoring option, you will get case escalation. Click on it and then click on search button. Now here you can see we created phone escalation rule, and for that we entered two actions after the 10 hours and then after the 20 hours. Here you can see we have created a case, date of 27 and then time is 9:29 AM, and this case will get escalated date of 28 and then time here you can see 10:29 AM. That means after the login of next day. This is how we can create case escalation rule in Salesforce. Then in this video we have seen case escalation rule in Salesforce. Then we have seen some example to set the case escalation rule in Salesforce. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get regular updates. Thank you.